Hello, everyone. I'm San. You're listening to San's podcast. It's been a long time since I last recorded an episode. How have you all been? Is everything all right? How's the weather where you are? Are you eating well? Is work too overwhelming? Not too tired, I hope? I truly hope everyone is doing well. As for me, I just had a spring break in Vietnam. The moment I got back to England, I dived straight into work and my final assignments. Over the past few weeks, I've had to write almost 10,000 words for 3 different subjects, and I'm so happy to have finished them all. As soon as I was done, I turned on my mic to record a new podcast for you all. I hope you've had many experiences in your daily lives recently so that today we can share more with each other here. The topic I want to share with you today is about an ambiguous relationship, an undefined relationship. Why do we have such relationships? Are they good or bad? Ambiguous means unclear. 2 people have an unspoken understanding. Sometimes it feels like 2 people in love holding hands, hugging, showing affection. Other times it feels strange, and you wonder what right you have to demand love or attention from them. Sometimes you feel like they really need you. Other times they don't. Sometimes you feel treated as someone very important. Other times you're nothing at all. The biggest question in your mind is, where do I stand in this relationship? You can't see a clear position for yourself in it. You keep searching for answers and waiting for the other person to clarify things. So, is an ambiguous relationship good or bad? San thinks that if it's within certain limits, it's not necessarily bad, like when we're just getting to know each other at the very beginning. At that point, nothing is truly clear. It can't be black or white, so it's a bit gray. However, if you let it drag on for a very long time, it will lack stability, trust, and a sense of emotional clarity. I'll start with the good points of an ambiguous relationship. It offers flexibility, meaning it doesn't require a long-term commitment. Since things aren't clear between the 2 of you, it just flows. You're there for each other when needed, and when not, then not. No responsibility is required. It's a flexible, free, and comfortable arrangement. If that's what you need, then an ambiguous relationship might be what you want. And that's why people who don't want to commit love being ambiguous with others. Another good thing is that it can help us enjoy fun moments together. Because after all, relationships with certain commitments often come with rules, and these rules can sometimes limit the feeling of enjoyment and pleasure. For example, if it's ambiguous, a person can be ambiguous with multiple people at once, They get to enjoy the feeling of dating this girl today, that girl tomorrow, this guy today, that guy tomorrow, dating many different people. Going on dates, expressing affection, holding hands, hugging, kissing, even sleeping together. One person on an even day, another on an odd day. San personally thinks these things aren't uncommon anymore. But you know who likes these kinds of things? Who likes these ambiguous relationships? It's those who don't want responsibility, who don't want clarity. They want to play around, they want freedom and comfort, and basically, they don't value the other person too much. They're just strolling along their own path, if not this person, then another. If they have both, or even 3, all the better. And who typically has these ambiguous relationships? It's those who are unclear about themselves, unclear about building relationships, or whose only goal is self-enjoyment and gratification. And next, we move on to the bad side of an ambiguous relationship. An ambiguous relationship lacks commitment and clarity, and naturally it leads to instability and mutual distrust. It causes stress and insecurity for the people in that relationship, and usually, it's just one person, you guys. The other person is already clear about the relationship. It's an undefined one. But you sit there wondering, why are they like this? Why don't they confess their feelings but they kiss me? Why is that? Should I tell them how I feel? Should I tell them to be clear about things? Why are they hot and cold? Sometimes they need me so much, other times they're so distant. But they haven't even said who I am, they haven't said I'm their girlfriend, yet why do they treat me like one? What should I do? This creates extreme emotional confusion. And most importantly, you doubt your own self-worth. You are always unclear about yourself and always hoping, waiting for someone to define you in that relationship, but they don't want to. They just keep things as they are. And you ask yourself a huge question. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? How can I handle this? I feel like I don't know what to do at all. I'm passive in this relationship. And of course, it will bring you a lot of hurt. And you know what's even more frustrating? You don't know what to say. For example, if you 2 are in an ambiguous relationship, acting like a couple but not officially one. If you catch him or her dating someone else, what are you supposed to say? Right. I'm not their boyfriend or girlfriend yet, so what can I say? Communication becomes very difficult because you can't be sure what you can or cannot do in that relationship. When I was in high school or university, I also experienced ambiguous relationships, you guys, the more than friends, less than lovers kind. It lasted for a very long time, and that's why I understand the pain, the expectations, the hopes. I was so naive back then. I really hoped they would define our relationship. But later, I got wiser. I learned when to end a relationship, when to stop investing my emotions. And at this older age, San feels these relationships are a huge waste of time, an absolute waste of time. Because we're with someone who doesn't truly value us, who doesn't truly reserve a place for us. Maybe they like you a little, or the feeling you bring them is very good. For example, you're a fun, sweet person, you confide in them often, making them feel happier, more joyful, more comfortable in life. So they just keep you around. But they don't like you enough to give you a title. Because the moment they give you a title like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" it means they can't date other girls. But speaking of this, it's a bit uncertain, because even people with boyfriends, girlfriends still date others, or many married people still date others. However, at least once someone has clarified their relationship with you, it's generally an affirmation. I'm not discussing infidelity in this podcast episode, but I'm talking about someone giving you a position in a relationship. Let me pose a reverse question. Why do you allow someone else the right to decide your position in a relationship? Why do you allow them the right to make you an ambiguous person in their life? Ambiguity is a choice. You are merely one of their options. In an ambiguous relationship, typically, it's not that both people are ambiguous, you guys. Usually, one person is ambiguous, and that's the one who likes the other more, loves the other more, and accepts that ambiguity. The other person knows very well that you love them, but their feelings aren't as strong, so they just keep you there thinking, let's see if there's someone better. This one's okay, but not excellent yet, so I'll just keep them on the side. One side wants to move forward, the other just wants to stay ambiguous. Don't think that the other person is as ambiguous as you are. It rarely happens that both sides are ambiguous. If both sides are ambiguous, it's just the process of two people getting to know each other, and gradually the relationship will definitely progress. But if it just stagnates and falls into that more than friends, less than lovers zone, then it means one person wants it, and the other doesn't. If it were you, ask yourself, if you truly loved someone, would you want that relationship to be clear? Would you want to be officially by their side? Would you want them to introduce you as my partner or just a friend? Why do we allow others the right to place us wherever they want in a relationship? For San, a relationship only truly begins when he asks, "Will you be my girlfriend?" It's always like that. Don't tell me otherwise, like, "Will you be my boyfriend?" Confession is always from the man, you guys. That's still my way of thinking. Men and women will never be the same, masculinity and femininity will never be the same. Don't say that a woman confessing to a man is equality. If you want to learn more about equality, you can read research. What are we fighting for when we talk about equality? It's for women to have the right to choose what they want, like the right to an education, the right to vote, human rights, you guys. In many places, women aren't even allowed to go to school. They are looked down upon and underestimated. Why are issues like rape so rampant and unaddressed in India? Because, deep down in their ancient culture, unconsciously, women have long been trivialized. And what people are fighting for are human rights for women. And there will also be many distortions, because in our country, women already have very good rights and benefits, and that's why there are later distortions. Not that feminism means being stronger than men or being like men. However, we'll talk about this topic in other podcast episodes. Let's return to the topic of ambiguous relationships. As I said, a relationship only truly begins when he confesses his feelings to you. However, you sitting around waiting for someone who's ambiguous with you day after day, month after month, that's your responsibility. That's you allowing them to do that. If you are currently in an ambiguous relationship, it's because you are allowing them to be ambiguous with you. You're allowing them to be unclear with you. I understand that you really like them. You don't know what you should do. You don't want to end the relationship, but you also don't want things to remain ambiguous. So, I'm not going to advise you to do anything. I don't know how to advise you. I'm not telling you to leave or to stay. San believes you should focus on yourself, because when you have unclear relationships around you, It stems from your own lack of clarity about your self-worth and your goals in building relationships. And another crucial thing is that you're very limited in your ability to be alone. It's very difficult for you to be alone. Maybe you're living somewhere with very few friends, for example, or living far from home with not many people around. So, suddenly, this person, okay, maybe they're not clear with you, but having them around sometimes is still better than being alone, right? When you realize that the other person is ambiguous with you because they don't have enough feelings for you, they don't appreciate you enough, they don't desire you enough to give you a clear title, do you accept that? Do you truly accept that? Or will you still think, oh, maybe they're just shy? Or maybe it's not the right time yet? Or we make excuses for some reason. If you accept that they're ambiguous with you because they don't love you much, will you leave? Will you leave? Actually, San isn't telling you whether to leave or not. That's your decision, your relationship, your life. San also wants to share my own story. Normally, I'm a pretty clear person, and this clarity has changed over time. The more I understand and know what I need and want, the fewer ambiguous relationships I have around me. I'm not ambiguous with others, and I don't let others be ambiguous with me. I usually approach relationships by getting to know someone. During the dating process, after just a few dates, if I feel like this person is worth exploring further, I'll continue to get to know them and meet up. But if I feel like we're not compatible or on the same wavelength, I'll stop immediately. Meaning, I won't agree to go out again. For people we continue to get to know, only when the feelings have built up sufficiently, and when I'm asked to be their girlfriend do I become their girlfriend, and only then do I kiss them, you guys. For you not to keep falling into these kinds of relationships, you need to set very clear boundaries right from the getting to know you phase. For example, if you don't want ambiguity, then why are you kissing someone who isn't your boyfriend? Why are you going to each other's homes and having intimate moments that go beyond friendship? If we set clear boundaries, others will recognize that and know how to treat us appropriately. But if we become too easygoing and comfortable, just letting anything go, then they won't see your boundaries and won't know how to treat you. The consequence is a lack of clarity, hurt, and false expectations for that relationship. And honestly, it all comes back to you. It means that deep inside, you are lacking self-love. You might hear this and think it's unrelated, like, why does an ambiguous relationship have to do with self-love? But it's true. Because it also comes back to how you respect yourself and how you value yourself. For someone who intentionally draws others into their ambiguous circle to have many options, they don't even love themselves. They are also very emotionally needy people. They seek love from external sources and feel validated when they are with many people, loved by many. But you yourself are craving validation from others, craving love from external sources, which means you haven't given yourself enough to know what kind of relationship you should have. If you weren't constantly stressed and tired by an ambiguous relationship, you definitely wouldn't need to listen to this podcast. But clearly, in your mind, you understand how tiring it is because you always want clarity, always want the other person to move forward, and you try to convince yourself, oh, they love me a lot, they just haven't said it. But no, you guys, the image of someone who truly loves the other person you are very clear about that. Someone who truly loves you, nothing can stop them from coming to you and wanting to give you a place in their life, a certain clarity. Once it's ambiguous, it means they don't love you that much. And I truly hope you can spend more time with yourself to truly look deeper into your inner self. San has always believed that everyone deserves to be loved. Maybe you've never been loved completely in your life, you don't know how you should be treated, but I want to say that everyone deserves to be loved completely. You deserve to have a relationship that is clear, responsible, and full of love. True love isn't painful. It doesn't make people so exhausted and hurt, you guys. And I truly hope that one day you'll be strong enough to choose your own path, because many things leave to make way for better things. If it still remains and occupies all your thoughts, then where's the opportunity for something more wonderful, more clear for you? If you truly want a clear relationship and you want the other person to clarify your position, there's only one way: leave. That's right, leave and focus on your life. That's telling them clearly that you only accept a clear relationship. If it's not clear, you won't continue. You can have a conversation, but San thinks it's better to do it through actions. That means you won't be intimate, you'll keep a certain distance. And if they feel, oh, why are you so distant today? You can reply, well, we're not really anything, are we? We're just normal friends. What are we to each other? And you'll continue to date other people, meet other people. Because they're not clear with you, so why should you be loyal to someone who doesn't even give you a place in their heart, a clear position in that relationship, or let everyone know how much they love you? Something that's hidden is hidden because they have many similar things and don't want people to find out about each other. Love that's hidden is not love. When someone desperately loves someone, they don't hide it, you guys. So the only way to make things clear now is for you to change. You have to take clear actions, set boundaries. If they ask you, you can clearly state, well, you haven't confessed to me and I'm not your girlfriend, so I don't think doing that would be appropriate. And basically, you'll just focus your energy on yourself. You won't be anyone's placeholder girlfriend or boyfriend. If they're still ambiguous after a long time of being together, and there's no progress in the relationship, then it's either extreme clarity or nothing. If you have such a clear attitude, they won't be able to toy with you. Once you clearly express your stance, either they will leave because they don't need any clarity, they'll just find other people. This is the scenario that happens most often because, from the very beginning, if they were serious about you, they wouldn't let you be ambiguous. Once it's like that, it means they want many options around, so if you're no longer an option, they'll find others. The other case, which is very rare, is that they will confess to you. They will clarify the relationship with you. But to know the answer, we still have to express our clear attitude to see if the other person truly needs you. But if you just sit wherever you're put, listen to whatever they say, and let them treat you however they want, then you have to accept that you will always be confused in your own feelings. And if you keep sitting there, waiting for them and thinking that one day they will marry you, that they will love you, that's not necessarily true, you guys. Maybe they will marry you for convenience, not because they love you. Do you want someone to be with you because they love you, or because you are very convenient and beneficial to them? Ask yourself that question to know what you should do. And to clarify everything in this life, it only starts with cultivating yourself and seeing yourself clearly. When you see yourself clearly, no one will be able to be ambiguous with you. And that's what San wanted to share today. Make your own choices. Keep experiencing life, and we will learn so much. Thank you all very much. I'll see you in the next podcast episodes, and I wish you all a good night.